Hotapu, this is King Ra Sumabathagbemi, the world's first openly gay African king. And I wish to give you a brief tutorial on the connection between what is called Jyotish, or Indian astrology, and Kemet. And the first thing to realize is that they were the same culture, that the foundation of Indian civilization began in the south of India, in the culture called Harappa Mohenjo-daro, and India was and is often still called Indus Kush, the Indus Kush culture. Well, Indus means indigo, which is blue-black, like ink, blue-black color, and Kush means Ethiopia. So Indus Kush means the blue-black Ethiopians, who were the southern Kamau. The southern Egyptians were the Kush people. The more northern Egyptians were the Kamau proper. But they were all one great Nile Valley kingdom. And so there was a group of the Ethiopians, the Kush people, that migrated southeast into what is called Indus Kush, or India, established the Mohenjo-daro Harappan culture, which was the mother of Tantra, of Jyotish astrology, of the Shastras, the scriptures, of Yantra, of the entire Indian spiritual culture. Now, when the pharaohs had realized through their calendars that the northern horde barbarians from Europe were coming down to destroy and rape through terrorism Africa, the pharaohs issued over various generations the dispersal of the Kemetic teachings. So they founded these centers and lodges throughout the world. They went to Mexico to form the Olmec culture and to feed the South American peoples our knowledge of the pyramids and of calendars, forming what's called the Mayan calendar, what's really the Olmec calendar. And the Olmec people were Nubians who had traveled to Africa. And it dispersed into what became Ifa, who preserved the shrines of Ma'atihuti, of wisdom, and to the Akan and the Vodun system, and it went into the Noks of China to form the Tao system. It moved even farther into the areas of Micronesia and into Thailand and Hawaii, forming the Kahuna system and the Huna tradition. So these were the pharaohs commanded to preserve the teachings by dispersing and sharing them, so they wouldn't be attacked at full throttle by the Aryan northern hordes of Europe. Now, with that said, the Kemetic astrology, the closest to it is its neighbor, Kush, Indian astrology. Okay? And I want to distinguish the Indian astrology from the Vedic astrology. The Vedic were the light-skinned Aryans that came down and conquered the dark-skinned, blue-black, ink-colored Africans of South India, and bastardized their teachings, whitewashed them, and then instituted what's called apartheid, or the caste system. Okay? And you can Google that information on history anywhere online. But today I want to focus on that the Nakshatras, what's called the fixed stars of Jyotish, or Dravidian African Indian astrology, the Nakshatras, the fixed stars, are key. Anybody who knows Jyotish knows that you have to know your Nakshatras. They are the core of the Indian system. And the Kamau were very much into the stars. They were masters of planet astrology, but they were supreme masters of star astrology, the fixed stars. So, here we have a list from 1 to 28 entitled The Gods of the 28 Finger Breadths of the Royal Cubit, which is a measure, like a ruler, of, let's just imagine, it's not exactly true, but let's say it's a ruler with 28 inches. Let's call them inches for Western sake right now. And each inch had a god. Each measure of life or of distance had a divine principle. But these 28 measures also were a code for the Nakshatras, which you often see in India as having 27, but sometimes they'll list 28. And they actually correspond one-to-one to this list. This was revealed to me years ago during a ritual to the gay ancestors of Kemet, who said that this ruler rules the fixed stars, what's called the Nakshatras. And in India, they are fixed in number. So the first nakshatra, number 1 is called Ashwini, number 2 is called Bharani, number 3 is called Kritika, number 4 is called Rohini, and so forth, down to 27 or 28. I'm going to zip through the Kemetic nakshatra written here and their Indian correlate. By studying one, you get richer data about the other and vice versa. So number 1, Ra, we call Ra, is called Ashwini in India. Shu is called Bharani. Kent is called Kritika. Seb is called Rohini. Nut is called Mrigrashira. Osar is called Ardra, particularly Osar in his raging form when he was angry at the court of gods for not giving the throne to his son Heru, and he issued a curse against them. That's Ardra. Ast is called Purnavasu, the return of the light Purnavasu. Set is called Pushyami. Nebethet is called Ashlesha. Heru, Magha. Imset, Putrapalguni. Hap, Uttarapalguni. Dwamutev, Hasta. Kebsenuf here is called Chitra. Yes. And after Chitra, we have number 15, Tehuti, which is called Swati. Sep is Vishaka. Hek is Anuradha. Ormawa is called Jyeshta. Mantev is called Mula. Arenfe Chesef is called Purvashada. Hak is called Uttarashada. Sebdu is called Abhijit, the extra nakshatra in some listings of the Dravidian system. Seb is called Shravana, the ear, the listener. Anher is called Dhanishta, the wealthy one. Her Awa is called Shatibishak. Sheps is called Purva Bhadrapada. Amsu Amin is called Uttara Bhadrapada. And U is called Revati. So when I use the Kemetic versions of this, they match the Indian correlates. For example, the first nakshatra is called Ra. In Kemet, it was called, in Dravidia, Ashwini. The Ashwinis are known as the healing horses. And everyone knows that in mythology, horses are always solar creatures. And Ra is a healing god. He's a god of chi, of life force, of kundalini, flowing properly. Okay? Let's take another one. As I mentioned here, Ardra Osar. Ardra is a very vicious star called the teardrop. And here it shows an eye, which tends to, of course, tear. And it's the form of Osar in his annihilating form. And Ardra is a star that likes to annihilate things. Let's try a few more. Let's see here. Let us try Heru. Here, number 10, is called Magha in India. Magha means Magha deals with the royal ancestors. And Heru is a king, royal ancestors on a throne. Magha deals with thrones and authority. So you see here, there's a lot of information here that was preserved by the Dravidian Indian astrology called the Nakshatras that will give us the power to interpret from a Kemetic astrology point of view. And that's huge for the gatekeepers and the movement that I am spawning to revive Kemetic astrology accurately and precisely. So, thank you, India, for preserving the Kemetic teachings. You've done it so beautifully in astrology. And now the time has come for us to revive it and to reclaim it and to use it to uplift gay Africa and all the world. Dua Hotepu.